What's up, guys? Today we are going to be having the first official edition of Tyrin Talks Movies, and today we are going to be talking about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Now, with Tyrin Talks Movies, this is going to be part of my channel in which I talk about movies that I love, movies that I maybe don't love, but it's all around me having a discussion about cinema, and I hope you guys like it. So here's the first official edition. Today we are going to be talking about a film that I personally love, which is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This movie is awesome, and today we're going to talk about why. Now, first, I want to rant about a few things that actually correlate with this movie that I just find crazy how it correlates. First off, the Emoji Movie. If you don't know what the Emoji Movie is, it's an abominable animated movie that was released last year by the same studio that released Spider-Verse this year. And to be honest, the fact that this masterpiece came a year after this gigantic shit heap is honestly a fucking miracle. Emoji Movie was the biggest fucking waste of money, biggest fucking waste of time, biggest just fucking waste of life for anybody. I get it. Kids like the movie. It'll be fun. But the movie fucking sucks if you are not like from ages 3 to 5. I mean, even 6-year-olds think this thing is shit, alright? This movie is an absolute fucking abomination, and I feel like the original film copy of it should just be fucking burned for fucking ever. Burned. I hate this movie with a burning passion, and I will never stop hating it. It is a shit movie. I hate it. They wasted a bunch of talent, they wasted a bunch of direction, and a bunch of fucking money. I fucking hate this movie. It appalls me. Anyways, next rant. I want to talk about Sony Animation's shoddy history. They've released good movies. Like Arthur Saves Christmas, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I do like the first Hotel Transylvania. But in between some of these good films, you just have like 5 or 6 really fucking shitty movies. And sometimes they are churning out these shitty movies more than I churn out shit after Taco Tuesday. And that's not good. As a studio, you shouldn't be doing that. You should be striving to being better with every release. But instead, it's just like, let's just make it a fucking cash grab, alright, guys? Let's not care about the art that we're making. Like, seriously. Fucking put some effort into it on some of these movies, because some of these movies are complete garbage, and you guys should be mindful of that. Fuck. Also, Avi Arad, stop trying to push Venom, man. Fuck you. Stop trying to push Venom just so you can sell toys, you bitch. You ruined Spider-Man 3 like that, asshole. 3. I want to talk about Lord and Miller. Now, if you don't know who that is, it's I think it's Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. Yeah, Phil Lord, Christopher Miller. They're just a great duo. They were the people behind 21 Jump Street, the Lego Movie, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, and they're behind Spider-Verse. One thing I found weird this year is they were taking off the solo story, which I thought was stupid as fuck, because these dudes do a great job whenever they're attached to a project. And taking them off that project, I feel like the studio didn't want to go in the direction that they wanted to go in, because they probably want to go in a more adventurous and different territory with the character. But, you know, Disney was probably like, no, we don't want to piss off fans. Let's give them a boring-ass movie instead. Ron Howard, you're coming out to the big leagues, baby. Like, seriously, no disrespect to Ron Howard. This movie was fucking boring. You know how fucking boring it was? I fell asleep in the movie theater. And I wasn't even high. I deadass fell asleep during this movie. Okay, that's the end of my rant. Part 2 is about my doubts going into this movie. One of my biggest doubts with this movie when I first was like getting ready to see it was the crazy concept of bringing in all these different spider people from different dimensions. I was wondering that it wasn't gonna work, that the characters would be under development or just kind of shitty in general. And needless to say, I was dead fucking wrong. Number 2, Sony's shoddy history again. Yeah, they have some great hits, but they also have a lot of misses. It's like Kobe on a bad night. Sure, he'll score 20 points, but he'll miss more than half his field goals. So it's like, the fuck? Also, Sony has a bad history of fucking up Spider-Man. 2 primary examples: Amazing Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3. They tried to throw in too many characters. They cluttered up the plot with all these stupid fucking sub-stories like Mary Jane being a bitch again. Honestly, guys, I'm not gonna be nice. I fucking hate Mary Jane in the original Spider-Man movies. but we're not going to talk about that right now. That's going to be another video in which I annihilate that ginger bitch. But yeah, they fucked up Amazing Spider-Man 2 when I think Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone and those people had enough charisma to where they could actually turn us to a franchise, but then they tried to shove so much shit down our throats that we couldn't take it anymore and puked it all back up. And then another that I had was there was so much Spider-Man media this year. You know, you had Venom grossing over $1 billion. You had Spider-Man in Avengers Infinity War. Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. And then you had Spider-Man PS4. You had 3 different Spider-Mans. Well, Spider-Man entities in existence at the same time in different continuities. I thought Spider-Verse would just be too much and it'd be like, oh, I've had too much Spider-Man this year. It's just oversaturated. And yet I was wrong again. Point number 5, other animated films this year were kind of, they were kind of dog shit. That's pun intended, if you know what I mean. Isle of Dogs. Isle of Dogs isn't actually dog shit. It's pretty good, but nothing compared to Fantastic Mr. Fox. You know, it's a Wes Anderson stop-motion animation film, you know. You can expect all the same things you'd see in a regular Wes Anderson film. Here, the idiosyncratic speech, you know, the same actors doing voices for this movie. You know, it's like a B+ at best for me. It's a B+ because it's fucking boring at times. Like, there's times where I'm just like, why the fuck? Why do I need this? Why do I need to watch this? Incredibles 2, which people touted as, oh, a great follow-up to an instant classic. Guess what? It's not a great follow-up. It's nothing compared to the first one. The first one was good, fresh, creative. This one's just playing off that, but in a less creative way. And honestly, it's really just fucking average. Like, everyone tries to say it's so great and Jack's so cute with his powers. It's fucking average. You were expected to see that in this movie. They waited 14 fucking years to give it to us. Seriously, what kind of bullshit is that? And, like, also, Ralph Breaks the Internet was just, not to be mean, I like John C. Reilly, I like Sarah Silverman. That movie was fucking hot garbage. That movie sucked. I mean, seriously, it sucked ass. There were other animated movies last year. I didn't really watch some of them because some of them just looked fucking stupid. Smallfoot, I was surprised by. Smallfoot, I will actually say, I had a pleasant time watching Smallfoot. It was pretty good. I liked it. Hotel Transylvania 3, though, can go fuck itself. My little sister loves that movie, but I just can't be around whenever she has it on because I just don't like it. I don't fucking like those movies. I like the first one. Everything after that, I was kind of like, no. Not me. This ain't it, dog. It's gonna be a no from me, dog. Randy Jackson. I don't know what date he quoted that, but here, now we're gonna get into the fun part of this, which is my review and all the things I really love about this movie. Point 1, it has an amazing voice cast. You've got Shameik Moore as Miles Morales. You've got Jake Johnson as Peter B. Parker. You've got Haley Steinfeld as Spider-Gwen, or aka Gwen Stacy. You've got Kimiko Glenn as Penny Parker. John Mulaney as Spider-Ham. Nicolas Cage as Spider-Man Noir. You've got Lily Tomlin as Aunt May. Zoe Kravitz as Mary Jane Parker. You've also got Mahershala Ali as Aaron Davis. Brian Tyree Henry as Jefferson Davis. Fucking Catherine Kahn as Dr. Octopus, Liev Schreiber as Kingpin. You've got a great voice cast here. You've got an amazing voice cast. I mean, seriously, these people, the emotion that they have in their voice really brings these characters to life. And honestly, in my opinion, everybody says Tobey Maguire should have played Peter B. Parker. I think Jake Johnson brings more authenticity to that than Tobey Maguire would have been able to. No insult to Tobey Maguire. I love the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. I'm a huge fan of them, despite the fact that I fucking hate Mary Jane in those movies. But I'm still a fan of those. But I just don't think Tobey Maguire captures that same kind of middle-aged, kind of depressed sound that Jake Johnson just naturally has in the roles he plays. And honestly, I really liked Chris Pine as like Peter Parker, like the idealistic version of Spider-Man. It was really fun to see him because like when you first see him, you're like, oh my god, this is like the like ultimate Spider-Man. Like, you know, he's idealistic, he's unrelenting in his fight for good, and it's just really awesome to see him until, you know, well, I'll get to that later in the video. Anyways, amazing voice cast, especially Nicolas Cage's Spider-Man Noir. This year, Nicolas Cage has been in 2 of the best films of the year. Isn't that fucking crazy? Nicolas fucking Cage. Ah! Not the Beast! That motherfucker. Seriously. I love Nicolas Cage. Alright. Moving on to part 2. Now, if you know me, you know this is probably the thing I talk about the most about with this movie. And that is the breathtaking animation style. There's no other way to like compliment this movie. It is absolutely breathtaking. It is beautiful. It is aesthetics on 100. All you motherfuckers posting your black Coke cans, suck a dick. This movie is 1,000 times more aesthetic than your stupid fucking pictures. Sorry for being so explicit. Those pictures really piss me off. But this movie, it's literally like a comic book was ripped from the fucking pages and just thrown and built into this fucking world. It's so amazing. The dash lines, the half dots, the fucking like the reverberations, the goddamn like little sound effect noises. It's so amazing, and everything is so smooth and cohesive. Like even in the last fight scene, which is literally like a fucking fight in an acid trip, you can still see what's going on. You can still see the action, and it's so coherent yet so maniacal at the same time. And it truly creates something beautiful that I have never seen in animation before, and it is pushing the boundaries of animation. See, Toy Story, when it first came out, the first fully computer animated film, it pushed the boundaries of that for good. Every other studio was trying to do that because they saw, hey, this is the new wave. We gotta hop on this right now and capitalize on it. Well, take fucking notes, people, okay? Because you just got outclassed by the studio that made the fucking Emoji Movie last year. Pixar ain't got dick on animation on this level. Seriously. I tempt you to find a Pixar movie that has animation on the level of Spider-Verse. I bet you can. I will bet you that you cannot, because this movie is literally like nothing we've ever seen before. Nothing that's ever been attempted, because they don't have the balls or the ambition to do it. But Lord Miller, Rodney Rothman, Bob Paraschetti, Peter Ramsey, and dozens of artists, hundreds of artists and animators had the passion to make a film this beautiful and this just pleasing to the eye, which was amazing. And it shows you how much care and attention really went into this movie, and that's why I love it so much. Point number 3. They did a great job with the character development and balance. Miles and Peter B. Parker are obviously the most developed characters. They're the 2 main focuses of the story. You know, they're kind of opposites of each other. Miles, he has a pretty good handle on his personal life, but when he becomes Spider-Man, he's having a lot of trouble becoming the hero that he wants to become. Whereas Peter B., he's having problems in his personal life, a lot of problems that came from being Spider-Man for too long, but he still sticks to being Spider-Man because he feels he has a responsibility to protect the city as Spider-Man. And it's kind of fun seeing how Peter, he's this schlubby, depressed, middle-aged man, and yet when he puts on the Spider-Man costume, he is still an amazing Spider-Man because he knows the responsibilities that he must execute as Spider-Man. Whereas Miles doesn't know what kind of Spider-Man he is until later in the film, when he has to figure out who he is and what kind of Spider-Man he's going to be. And it's awesome seeing how these characters teach each other. Miles teaches Peter how to, have faith in himself with his own life, maybe leave behind Spider-Man so that he can fix things with Mary Jane, have kids, have a good life for himself. Whereas Peter teaches Miles how to be the best Spider-Man he can possibly be, and it's amazing. One of my favorite scenes in the movie is when Peter B is trying to fight Kingpin, but Miles won't let him, and Miles does the sweeping leg kick that Peter did earlier, catches him, and he tells him, "You gotta go home, man." And that exchange with, "How do I know I'm not gonna screw up?" And Miles says, "You won't." And then Peter says, "Right, it's a leap of faith." That scene, oh my god! Oh, dude! Who fucking wrote that? Jesus Christ! God damn it, this movie is just so fucking good! Like, literally, I could go on for like 40 minutes about this movie, but my phone will probably die beforehand, so I gotta cut it down. But like, that scene is so awesome. I wish I could put a clip of it in here because it is so fucking amazing. It's such a great scene because both the characters are fleshed out now, and it all comes full circle. It's just like, seriously, whoever between Lord and Miller wrote the script and the screenplay, you guys are fucking geniuses. Keep making these movies. Another part of this movie that I absolutely loved was the music. Now, when I say music, I mean both the original album created for it and the original soundtrack. The original album created for this movie, I think, is superior to the one created by Kendrick for Black Panther, because with Black Panther, it's set in a fictional African country. Why would they be bumping Kendrick over there? It doesn't fit into the movie at all, and it kind of sucks because you only hear like 3 songs from that album on there, and they have some of the top talent in the game right now. Whereas Spider-Verse, because it takes place in Brooklyn with the half African-American, half Puerto Rican kid, they were able to incorporate hip-hop into it much more easily because of the environment surrounding the story, and it fits much better. And they said, yeah, we can't get these top artists in the game, but let's get the best young talent we can get for this so we can make a good album that fits the tempo and fits kind of the mood of our movie. And they did a great job with it. There are some stellar tracks. There is a goddamn banger on this album. A few bangers, a few old knee slappers. They're just great. It's just great fucking music. I really like it, and it's great and it's good hip hop. I really enjoy it. Also, the original soundtrack. Oh my god. I love this original soundtrack. I love how whenever Spider-Man does something, it's set to this orchestral score, whereas when Miles does something, it's the orchestral score, but there's more hip-hop elements added into it, and the beats kind of mess with it a little bit. I really like that because it shows that he's different from Peter, and he's unique in his own way, and they have different music showing that. Also, the Prowler's theme is fucking terrifying in this movie. It is fucking terrifying. But the thing I love the most is how whenever there's a crescendo in these movies, in the music, there's a violin swell, or you hear the horns coming, it's just so satisfying because it's like, oh my god, it sends chills down your fucking arm. It's crazy how good the music in this movie is. Daniel Pemberton did an amazing job. Like, Marvel, step your shit up. I love Alan Silvestri. I love Tyler Bates. I love Ludwig Göransson. Get this dude for a next movie. Come on. He has some real fucking talent. Alright? Get him on there. Another thing I really liked in this movie was the world building. They worked so hard to build an entirely different world. Like, in Miles' world, Chance wears a 4 hat instead of 3 hats. Stephen Curry's a golfer. Edgar Wright is making like a Shaun of the Dead series of films. And like everything's different. Even Coca-Cola's called Cola Soda, I think. And like Yugo, one of the worst American cars ever made in history, is a prominent car brand in that universe. And I think it's awesome to see. Also, I think they've modeled the Times Square like panels in 2016 because 2 of the albums on there, one of them is the cover art for Chance's coloring book. The other one is for the Weekend Starboy album. Obviously, it's different in the movie because, you know, alternate dimension, but at the same time, it's still really cool to see how much detail they put into making this world different. And it's really just crazy when you think about how much time it took to animate this, how much like effort it took to get everything down to the last detail. How many people had to be passionate about this to make something this amazing happen on film? It's truly crazy, honestly. There's no other way to describe it besides crazy, because that's what it is, because the amount of effort put into this film is just insane, and I honestly love it. I love it. Another thing I love about this movie is the message of the movie. It gets Spider-Man so well. It's not that Spider-Man is this unyielding symbol of good. He never gives up. No matter how many times he gets hit, he always gets back up. But what this movie also does is it emphasizes the message that Spider-Man sends us. Anybody can be a hero. Anybody can be a Spider-Man. Anybody can wear the mask. This movie makes you feel like you could be a superhero. That's how great this film is. It makes you feel like you could do the things Spidey does, but you don't have to have the powers. All you have to do is do the right thing, and you will be a superhero, which is one of the quotes at the end from Stanley and Steve Ditko, which I love. It was an amazing tribute. It was a very great move on part of the directors who did that part. I just love this movie. And now it's time for spoiler talk. If you do not want to hear spoilers for this movie, I would advise stopping now, okay? Stop now. I don't want to piss you off and have you saying, "Oh, you fucking ruined the movie for me, dick." Because guess what? I gave you fair warning, alright? Okay, so we're going to talk about some of my favorite scenes in the movie. First off, I love Peter Parker's introduction because it sells him as the quintessential Spider-Man. He's epic. He never gives up. He's always fighting for the right thing. And I love how they pay tribute to all the Raimi movies, which I thought was really good. I thought that was super interesting. Another scene I like is Miles' introduction. We just see him singing in his room, already establishing that he is a relatable character to many people. Because, a lot of people do that. A lot of people fucking do that. Another scene I like is when Peter is investigating the Alchemist spider, and then he gets thrown into the middle of a Spider-Man, Green Goblin, Prowler fight. And that fight is awesome. You get Spider-Man making quips throughout it. You get the ultimate Green Goblin form, which is amazing. You get the meeting of him and Miles, and him talking to Miles and trying to make him calm down because he realized that Miles may be scared of his new powers. And it's honestly amazing. You get to see this quintessential Spider-Man in action and how epic he is in all his glory. We get to see the Prowler, who is a badass villain with probably the scariest theme of any villain I've ever heard. I mean, Thanos made me scared, but like when the Prowler's theme came on, my balls literally quivered. And then, the end of that scene if you've seen it, Peter dies. Because, Kingpin's like, I'm trying to get my family back. Spider-Man's like, yeah, dude, you're gonna fuck this shit up for sure. And Kingpin's like, oh, I don't like that. Fuck you then. And then he just goes, bah! Like a fucking baby. Another great scene in this movie is, I love Peter B. Parker's introduction. I love how it encapsulates all the pain and hardship he's gone through in such a short time. It's so emotionally dense and packed, yet they managed to explain it in like 2 minutes. You hear about how Spider-Man has affected his personal life and how he's kind of stuck in a rut right now, how he's kind of stuck with his depression because being Spider-Man has taken a toll on his personal life, and he can't fix it because he still wants to be Spider-Man. He still wants to protect people, but at the same time, he wants a life with Mary Jane. And it's great to see that. This is the kind of Peter Parker we've never seen before. And honestly, in my opinion, it's one of my favorite iterations of Peter Parker because it's finally not, young, vibrant Peter Parker who's ready to take on anything. This is a Peter Parker who's taken on everything, and it's really taken a toll on him, and it's evident. That's what I love about this character. I love Peter B. Parker. Another great scene are the scenes between Miles and his Uncle Aaron. These scenes actually feel genuine. They feel like genuine interactions. That's the great thing about this movie with the writing it has. Like, all the interactions feel like actual interactions. It doesn't feel weird. It doesn't feel out of place. It doesn't feel too formal. It doesn't feel cringy because they're trying to use like teen slang. It feels like natural conversations happening between people. And it's honestly amazing to see that in a kid's film, because usually kids' films, when they try to appeal to a younger demographic, they use usually like cringy uses of memes and stuff, and it's just kind of like, no. And this movie actually does a great job with its meme culture. I'm going to talk about it in a little bit, but it's an amazing scene. I love it. Another scene I'm a big fan of is when Aunt May sees Peter from the other dimension, because in Peter B. Parker's dimension, Aunt May's dead. He had to bury her. And so they're both seeing someone they outlived, and it's kind of crazy for both of them. And it's just kind of like, whoa. Next scene I like is it just has great music when they enter fucking Peter Parker's lair. It's just like, holy shit, can you get any better with this score? And also in that scene, you see Miles look up at the Spider-Man costume, and his head isn't quite all the way up to Spider-Man's mask yet, and that's because he feels he's not ready to be Spider-Man. He still feels lesser than the other Spider-Man. And that comes back later in the film. And then, you know, Peter, they have to fight at Aunt May's. That's a good scene. I love when Spider-Noir says, "We don't pick the ballroom, we just dance." That line's fucking hilarious. This scene also packs an emotional punch with the death of Miles' uncle, the fucking Prowler. God, Aaron Davis. And it gives you a heartfelt scene between him and Miles. It's just like, tugs at your fucking heartstrings. And dude, the deaths in this movie are permanent. This is a PG movie, and 2 fucking people get murked. 2 important characters get killed, I remind you. In a kid's movie. When's the last time you see that shit? Ow. It's fucking crazy, right? Also, another great scene I liked is when Peter is telling Miles that he's gonna stay behind even though it'll kill him. And because he feels Miles isn't ready, what he does this crazy little leg sweep, jumps on the ceiling, grabs Miles, and he's like, "Then Venom strike me now, or turn invisible on command so you can get past me." And you see Miles trying his hardest, and all the other spider people are waiting outside his little dorm room that he's in. You know, he's trying his hardest, but it doesn't work. And Peter tells him he's just not ready. He sits him down in the chair, webs him up. And Miles asks him, "When will I know I'm ready?" And then Peter says, "You won't. It's a leap of faith. That's all it is." And it's not like, I know a lot of people are like, why is that such a good scene? But it sets up probably the best scene in the movie. It sets that up. And then, of course, Miles' dad gives him this amazing talk. Brian Tyree Henry does a great job in his voice performance. And then Miles, oh my god, we're on the best scene in the movie. Even thinking about it's giving me chills. God damn it. The fucking leap of faith scene where Miles is perched on the building and he has to jump off and his hands still stick because he's scared, but he's got to take the leap of faith. That's why the glass breaks off. And as he falls, the camera flips to show that he's not falling in the frame. He's rising. And it's amazing to see. And the cinematography is amazing in this scene. You see Miles' clothes just flapping in the wind, showing you how dangerous this actually is, how dangerous being Spider-Man can actually be. And it's crazy. And you see him have to take this leap of faith, shooting his webs up, not sure if they're gonna make it, being a little scared, and then swinging through the air triumphantly, set to "What's Up Danger" mixed with Daniel Pimpleton's original score. God damn it, this movie is awesome! Seriously, that scene is just so awesome. Like, if you watch it and you don't get fucking chills from it, either you're really cynic and you don't like cartoon movies, which, you know, I understand, you know, you may have different tastes than me, or you're just not a fucking human being, you don't have a pulse, because that scene is fucking awesome. Plus, at the end, when it builds up in the song, and then it crescendos right as Miles jumps off the building, he was too scared to jump off in the beginning, and then to the bench. Who in the fuck was like, "Hey, let's release the shittiest movie anybody has ever seen a year before it released probably the greatest Spider-Man film ever fucking made"? Who the fuck had that idea? Who the fuck? God! This movie's just so fucking good. So fucking good. Oh god, I love this movie. And then, also to cap it off, the final fight scene is amazing. Spider-Ham has a glimmering moment in which the Scorpion makes fun of him for being a cartoon. He kicks his ass. Spider-Man, Noir, and Penny Parker literally fuck Scorpion. Not but more like, you know, just like, fuck him up. And then they all have touching goodbyes to Miles when they all enter through the portal. Like I said before, there's that great scene where Peter's going to fight Kingpin to make sure that Miles is safe, but Miles won't let Peter. And there's a great exchange where Peter B. Parker's saying, "What are you doing? This guy could kill you. I can't let Spider-Man die." And Miles says to him, "Neither can I." And then Miles' sweeping leg kick catches Peter right before he's about to fall in the portal. He's like, "You gotta go home, man." And of course Peter says, "How do I know I'm not gonna mess it up?" "You won't." That's right. It's a leap of faith. Then he drops into the portal. Miles proceeds to get his ass kicked by Kingpin for a little bit, but then he gets back up with the encouragement of his father, who doesn't know he's Spider-Man, but he sees Spider-Man getting beat by Kingpin. He's like, get up, Spider-Man. He gets up. And when Kingpin says, I'll make sure you never see your family again, Miles gets up and he says, I'll always have my family. And then he does the shoulder touch on his ass. Venom strikes him into the fucking collider, destroying the shit. And then there's an emotional scene between him and his dad, which is amazing. I love it. Then we get to see Miles being Spider-Man. It's just, this film did everything I wanted for a Spider-Man film to do. This film is honestly what we should be telling, like, studios, that we want to see more of this. We don't want to see more Ralph Breaks the Internet. I don't want to see more Incredibles 2. I want to see more movies like this that push the boundaries, that excel in their craft past the level that others have. I want to see more of that rather than the same old tired tropes and other shit. I want to see movies like this because, you know what? Instead of walking out of a movie being like, wow, well, that was a waste of an hour and a half and $13, I want to walk out of a movie similar to this, where I was walking out of the movie being like, wow, I am fucking amazed that this even exists because it is so good. I have never seen the expression of an artistic medium done this beautifully. I've never seen writing in a kid's movie be this good. I've never seen these scenes, this amazing. God, the cinematography in this fucking movie. Anyways, I love Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and if you are a true comic book fan, if you're a true animation fan, if you are a true Spider-Man fan, you will watch this film because you will realize it is everything that Spider-Man represents. And it's everything that comic book films and animations should strive to be. Anyways, this has been the first edition Tyrin Talks Movies. I hope you guys like this. I know this was very fucking long, but I also worked very hard working on this video. I know it's like, oh, you recorded one take though. Yeah, but at the same time, I wrote a lot for this. I had specific talking points I wanted to hit, and I feel I've hit them all adequately. And if you like this, please like and subscribe. Don't turn on notifications. Don't. Because then you'll see how sad my life is when I start uploading every day. So, yeah, this has been Tyrin Talks Movies. Peace.